Welcome to the left's Summer of Love Part 2. It's been 5 years and they are getting the band back together. Nothing gets purple-haired jihadis off the couch as quick as another riot. Smell like a Wendy's burning? We are going to be heading to the streets. On Friday, we started seeing more demonstrations after a sequence of ICE raids happened in Los Angeles. Protesters clashed with police, so on Saturday, President Trump called out the National Guard. Now, Gavin Newsom is suing over the deployment of California's National Guard, claiming it is illegal. Federal law does generally call for the request of a governor or legislature to bring out the Guard, but there are exceptions when the president can do this on his own. And a governor taking the side of the insurrectionists would certainly count as one of the exceptions. At least 56 people have been arrested so far. And if you haven't seen the images of this, please show it. Los Angeles is under siege. This is becoming a test of the Trump administration. The left is saying that President Trump needs to back down and stop doing immigration raids because it antagonizes the population. Nope. We either have a country or we have no-go zones. We have laws or we do not. We're either America or we are Mexico. And let's be very honest. Everyone's kind of, tap dancing around this. We're not Mexico for a reason. Mexico, they want to be here. That's why millions of them come to America. If Mexico was so great, why did you leave it? Mexico is not a great country. It's actually kind of a crappy country. It's not saying that there's not nice places, not saying that there's not nice people, but it's not America. In most parts of Mexico, it's controlled by gangs or cartels, drug lords. It is not a wealthy country. It's not a rich country. And when you import the third world, you get the third world. It is a wildly corrupt place. It is crummy. It's not wonderful. It's not like a beacon of hope. No, America is for a reason. It's not that Mexico doesn't have a ton of resources. They have tons of resources. Mexico is poor for many, many reasons. And I think you all know exactly what I mean. And in America, we've been very, very generous to the third world. Come on in. Come in Mexicans. Come in Nicaraguans. Come on Guatemalans. And our generosity has now wildly been taken advantage of. Understand, the Mexicans that come to America, they're not coming to America because they love the country. Because they love our creed, or they love our traditions, or they love our ideas, or they love the promise of America. They don't believe in e pluribus unum or in God we trust or liberty. They are coming here for one reason. It's because we are rich. You see, we have a parasitic relationship with Mexico, and we have for quite some time. Mexico sends in millions of people to our country. They work here and steal jobs from native-born Americans, and then they send the money back to America via remittances. Now, Mexico being wildly corrupt. And look, of course, there's some nice places, some good beaches, some good food, some very sweet people surrounded by a sea of gangsters, thugs, and cartels. If you loved the promise of America, you wouldn't wave a Mexican flag when American police tried to remove criminals. This should be a wake-up call. If you did not realize it before, guess what? Pat Buchanan and President Trump were right. We are a conquered country that has been invaded by a force in certain areas. The people that are waving Mexican flags as you are seeing widespread arson and bedlam and unrest and chaos, they're doing it for a reason. Because they've never assimilated. They believe in the deconstructionist, anti-colonialist La Raza belief that this is actually their land. All those nauseating land acknowledgments, oh, we're sitting here on stolen land. This is what it gets you. It gets you widespread rebellion, distrust against law enforcement. This is what invading armies do. They wave their flags. Los Angeles does not feel like a protest. What's happening there? It's an entire city that's declaring open rebellion to American sovereignty and authority. It was bound to come to a head in a corrupt blue city, but it must be firmly stopped. We must be unafraid to declare the Insurrection Act of 1807. We will not allow 2020 to replicate itself. The American people voted for mass deportations after Biden's open border, and if we do not succeed, our nation will be permanently populated by foreigners, whether legal or illegal, who hate us and who owe their true allegiance to another country, a crummy country, might I add. If someone loves another country more than America, they are here to simply leech off our economy, our culture, and our welfare. That is civilizational suicide. We are taking back our country, and that includes California. Here's a little bit of a taste of what we saw yesterday. This is 294. This is them having fun while burning cars. Really great people we're importing into this country, isn't it? Play cut 294.
Group of people, it could turn very volatile if you move law enforcement in there in the wrong way and turn what is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn into a massive confrontation and altercation between officers and demonstrators.
And the altercation that they're talking about, having fun watching cars burning, yeah, that's what normal, civilized, well-adjusted members of the West do, right? I know that in most small towns in America, in Lubbock, Texas, and in Stillwater, Oklahoma, a bunch of Protestants go out into the street after church and they start burning cars. Yeah, that's what we all do for fun. Give me a breath and give me a break. What you are seeing here is a mass attempted insurrection against which will be the largest deportation effort in history. And let me say this, and I will build this out later. My goodness, this is why we need the big, beautiful bill. I agree it doesn't cut as much spending as we'd like. We have a 3-seat majority, but I'll tell you what, we're going to expand ICE and the deportations are going to go up. We will find you, we'll remove you, and we will send you back to Mexico. We haven't even talked about reforming our legal system. We need a shut off of all immigration in this country, period, end of story. Moratorium. This right here should be a 5-alarm fire. We knew that this was here, but my goodness, it's going to keep on bubbling up. It's going to keep on continuing. Because what we have here is not just the bandits of the Democrat Party, but then you have Gavin Newsom and you have Karen Bass defending what is happening in the streets. You have Gavin Newsom suing Donald Trump because he is so in favor of this. And what do you see all those different foreign flags? You have the Black Liberation flag. I don't know what that is. Is that the Argentinian flag? Great. And then you have the Palestinian flag. Understand there is intersectionality here. If you want to properly understand the left, you must understand intersectionality. What do the Palestinian pro-Hamas people have to do with the white liberal purple-haired jihadis and then also with the La Raza folks with BLM? They all hate Christendom. They hate Western civilization. They hate what we have built. This is a global movement of freaks and misanthropes. Anti-Israel, anti-West, anti-America, anti-capitalism, anti-law, anti-order, and it all comes together. The same people that are doing the Gaza encampments are the same people that are now waving the La Raza Mexican flag. It is order versus anarchy. It is chaos versus structure. It is against everything that we believe in the West. Everything. And we're not going to put up with it. I think President Trump should fully deploy the military in the streets. Take back the streets of L.A., do it and do it fast. We're not going to allow Floydapalooza happen again. Civilization's on the line. Because you know what happened in 2020? So many black and Hispanic people got unnecessarily killed because of the rise in crime. If this mob broke into your home and killed your family, they won't defend it as a cry of protest. This is the great replacement theory. Remember we talked about they want to replace white Anglo-Saxon Christian Protestants with Mexican Nicaraguans, with El Salvadorians. You have seen the result of the Great Replacement. In California, 1 in 4 people have been born outside of the U.S. Let me say that again. 1 in 4 people in California have been born outside the U.S. You can see the white population collapse in L.A. That's intentional. They've wanted it that way. These are not protests. These are riots. And the leaders, Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom, which I'll talk about more, are being held hostage by these insurgents. We want our country back. And we have a big heart. We have had an open, oh, yes, we're going to take care of everybody. But as it says in the Bible, we're going to build the wall like it says in the book of Nehemiah. And we're going to build it strong and we're going to build it high. And if you do not assimilate and if you are an agent of disorder, of chaos and confusion, adios, hasta la vista, baby. We will find you and your family and we will return you. All 20, 25, 30 million. Every single one of you are going back. No exceptions. I don't care if you're some valedictorian of some school. It doesn't matter. We're not going to put up with this. Either we have laws or we don't. And if you want to be governed by compassion and emotions and feeling, well, then that will be the death of the rule of the law in the West. Come here legally, assimilate, or leave.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.